Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a drill with me, and y'all are going to laugh at me. Okay, I thought I was recording this earlier, and yeah, well, apparently I didn't hit the record button when I thought I did, and I was sitting here running my mouth the whole time. Unbeknownst to me, it didn't record. So we're going to do this again. So today's video is going to be a drill with me. I'm going to do an update, and then I'm going to answer some tag questions. I don't remember if I've ever done these tag questions before. If I have, I apologize for the repeat. But I'm going to bring both my hobbies together. I'm going to diamond paint, and I'm going to answer some cross-stitch tag questions. These were sent to me a long time ago, and I tried to look up the link where I got them from, and that link is no longer available, so I can't very well, post them on my description, so I apologize. So let's get started. I'm making some slow progress on this, as you guys can see. I am now I'll wear her dresses. I'm finishing up this leopard, and I'm starting on her dress, which is right here. So yeah, it's been slow only because I don't know why, but I don't diamond paint except for when I do my videos. I've been trying to, I've been trying to diamond paint every day, but apparently I've just not been good at making sure that I do. So, because I seem to be more interested in other things, like, cross-stitching and stuff. So, I don't know. It's chilly here this morning. Oh my gosh. I woke up this morning and I was bundled up in my comforter and another blanket, got out of bed, and I was freezing my butt off. I've never ever been so cold in my life. Usually, I'm okay, but no. I had to put my bathrobe on, made sure I made my coffee, made sure I got some warm coffee in me before I started doing anything, and I cleaned up a little bit and got some things done around here this morning before I started recording. And then after I do record, I'm going to uh, get the kids settled down to do their schoolwork today, and that's coming along better than it was. And Justin's a little behind. We are steadily catching up, but he's behind on one. I'm going to explain this. His school had sent out their packets, but they don't send it out like week to week like Sky School does. And they send them out. One packet was round 1, the other packet was round 2, then round 3, and today is round 4. And well, anyway, long story short, he turned in all of his round 2 work except for English, which I didn't know this. And of course, Justin didn't have that subject for round 2's packet. So I called his vice principal and let his vice principal know that. So he's bringing that today along with Justin's cap and gown. So that's been taken care of. And I'm kind of nervous because my poor kid's getting, yeah. I feel kind of weird because my son's getting ready to graduate, and it's, yeah. But that's okay. So I just feel old. But and he's ready to graduate, so. But no, that's basically what we've been doing all week. I've been trying to little by little straighten up, do, some stuff that I've put off around the house, which I was trying to do that anyway, but just didn't get around to it. And it seems like I was putting it off. So um, this past week we've been doing that. So, and Sky's teacher, little dude's teacher, has set up Zoom, a Zoom meeting room for her and for the class. So today Skylar has a Zoom meeting with his teacher at this afternoon. He didn't participate in the last one, I guess, because most of the class was in the Zoom meeting room, and he kind of got a little shy, which I thought was kind of cute. But I think today it'll be different because it's just going to be him and another student and the teacher. So that will be and I think he's looking forward to it. And I really, really like the idea that they started these Zoom, meetings with the kids. Because I think part of it is, because they were getting, especially Skylar. I don't know about anybody else's child, but Sky was getting to a point that he was getting so bored that I felt bad for him, and it didn't matter what we did. He just kind of just didn't seem to want to be involved, but he's all good with it now, which he can't wait for today. So I think he's excited about that. And his teacher and I talked about it. They're going to try to do these. I think she said. I think they're. She said she thinks they're going to try to do these like every. I think 2 times a week is what she said. So that will give him something to look forward to, because I mean, I think I can tell. I think he's just getting a little tired of constantly getting on Google Classroom and not interacting the with his classmates like he normally would. And he was getting kind of bored, which I can't blame him. And I did excuse me, I did take him out, but he just, that didn't last very long because he wanted to come back in and play his game. I mean, we were outside for a good while, but it was just the point that he was getting bored outside. So, anyhow, as I was saying, but that's basically what's been going on around here this week. Not really a whole lot to talk about. So I'm going to answer these tag questions, and again, I don't remember where they came from, or I don't remember who sent them to me, and again, I couldn't I tried to pull the link, you know, I tried to look at the link and it doesn't exist anymore that I'm aware of. Um, but these were cross-stitch tag questions that somebody sent me back when my channel a couple years ago was devoted to just floss tube. And I thought today I would just, you know, bring my two hobbies together and answer these tag questions. So, um, the first question is, how did you start or who introduced you to cross stitch? My mother introduced me to cross stitch, good grief, about 31 years ago. She gave me a kit and showed me how to do it, and ever since then I have been hooked. Um, I didn't start off with small ones. I mean, even though the one she gave me was small, but after that, I'm one of these ones. If you're going to start something, you go big. And that's what I did. I picked one of a big cross stitch that I had found in I think it was a catalog. I can't, or a magazine. I can't remember. And I just started on it. And I've been hooked ever since. And now, you know, the I've been going since then. Do you have a favorite theme or designer? Mm, I really don't know how to answer this question because I'm just kind of right now. I have two favorite themes only because I'm trying to decorate my home in both. Um, I like birdhouses, cause you know country stuff like that, and um, Egyptian themed, which is going to uh, which is going to be in my bed here in my bedroom. Once I finish this is going in my bedroom. But I have several cross stitch charts that I'm working on now that are Egyptian themed, and it just really varies. I guess, you know, those are my favorite themes, but designer wise, I just pick what I see that I think is pretty, and that's, you know, but my favorite place to order from is Heaven and Earth Designs. I really love their their uh their charts. But that's, you know, that's really I like I said, I don't have a favorite designer. I just, you know, um number 3, what floss brand do you use? Mainly I use DMC. I've I have tried Anchor, but I just didn't like it as much as I do DMC. Now I have ordered from AliExpress, and their DMC, which I have checked, was is the same but softer. Um, I ordered a bunch from them, but I really like using DMC. I know there's other kinds out there that have like DMC, but I'm not sure what the brands are. I mean, not now. I'm not saying that I don't want to try, you know, DMC or try something other than DMC. I would love to try, you know, different a different brand, but I'm not sure where to look for that brand. I mean, if somebody knows, you guys can tell me below. Number 4, what is your fabric of choice? Mm, basically, I have two. Um, 18 count Ada and 22 count Hardanger, or yeah, Hardanger, or whatever it's called. Um, Only because right now that's really the only fabric that I can see the holes in. And I probably could get away with stitching on 25 count if I wanted to. Um, I do have one that I've done, that I have started, that's 25 count. I just, the only reason that I haven't really worked on that one so much is because I like the grids on that, the grid that's already on it. I can't find any cross stitch fabric besides, Heaven and Earth or whatever, that has the grid for 18 count or what have you. So um, it's just easier for me to stitch on 18 count, if that makes any sense, um, than try to stitch on 25 count or 22 count. Let's see what else is next. What's the next? But yeah. Um, Number 5. Do you use a needle threader or are you a floss licker? Uh, I've never used a needle threader. I don't think I could even figure out how to work one of those. Um, I've seen other people use them, but I guess because I'm just used to licking my thread and so forth, I don't think I could get away with it. But then again, it, like I've always been told, try something once. You never know. You might like it, and I've never tried it. Not saying I wouldn't, but I guess because I'm just used to licking my thread because I was taught that way. It's just it's easier for me to do it that way. Number 6. What kind of stitching frame do you use? Right now, I'm using a hoop. I did used to have Q snaps, which I couldn't really, it wouldn't cooperate with me. It was hard for me to hold it and stitch with it. Now, if I had a stitching frame or a stitching stand, then, I probably would be able to. But right now I'm just using a hoop, which I know it's kind of, but I mean, that's the only thing I have right now to use. I am trying to, um, actually, I am saving up for a stitching stand because I like to stitch two-handed. I can't do it with a hoop. I mean, I know there's other people that can, but until I get a stitching stand, I won't be stitching two-handed. And when you stitch two-handed, it's easier for me anyway. No, I don't know. Everybody's different. Um, Number 7. How many projects have you finished? None. No, that's a lie. I finished one and I had it framed and it was hanging up in my hallway, but I took it down because uh why did I take it down? I had taken it down to move it to a different part of the house. I was going to put it in a different room, and um I had set it aside and something fell on it and broke the glass, and then and it was a, oh gosh, what was it? It was a heavy, it was, what was it? It was a piece of, it was a glass. It was a, I don't even remember. But anyway, it broke it, and what was in the uh the container or whatever was, it messed up the piece. So I had to get rid of it. But I have not finished anything as of late, because the projects that I work on from heaven and earth take a couple of years. So yeah, I'm not going to finish anything soon. Okay, next question. Do you do more stitching for gifts or keep them for yourself? Now, usually I keep them for myself. I do uh, try to make ornaments, cross stitch ornaments every year, which I end up giving to, my kids. But, and of course, they're, because, they still live here, they end up in the container, or the tote that the ornaments go for the tree. But usually I try to give, that's the only time I really make stuff for other people. I don't usually do it for anybody else. I don't usually make cross stitch something for other people. What is your favorite project or finish you are most proud of? Oh my. Uh, mm, right now, mm, I'm thinking. I really don't have a favorite project, just because mm, I'm thinking, because yeah, there's hmm, I don't really have one. I think all my projects are my favorite. I just, I just rotate them. But I really don't have one that is my favorite or that I'm proud of. I mean, I just enjoy stitching on them. I can't really, say what my favorite is. Um, Number 11, what has been your least favorite or worst experience while stitching? Oh, good grief. Back stitching. I can't stand it. It is the most depressing thing. I mean, granted, I get it. Back stitching makes the piece pop out. I can't. I I don't like back stitching, especially on a big project. Now, if it was on an ornament, that's different. But I can't. I don't like it. It's to me, it just takes up too much time, and I don't. Of course, that's just me. Um, and I think it varies with everybody. Let's see, number 12. What do you love and what do you hate about cross stitch? Uh, what do I love about cross stitch? What I love about cross stitch is I enjoy, stitching and seeing the the piece come alive, and it's relaxing. Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many things that I love about it. So yeah, bear with me while I sit here and um, What do I love about cross stitch? And I love that you can make it your own. Sometimes there could be, I'm trying to give you all an example here. Like for instance, I'm stitching on a piece and I go to look at a symbol and I don't have that color. You can, this is one thing I like about it. If you don't have that color, you can find the color that is close to the color you need and use that instead. It's and now that you can change the colors if you don't like them, which I think is kind of, that's how you make it your own, and it's kind of nice that you can do that. I've done that with a couple of my pieces that I've, of course, I don't have those pieces anymore because um, I either don't have the chart or what have you, but I've changed, a color of a dress or the color of the flower or something like that to what I want the color of, one of those things to be. Um, the worst, what do I hate about it? What do I hate about cross stitch? There's really not anything I can hate about it, except for when I'm stitching and your floss knots up while you're trying to, you know, while I'm trying to make an X in the, it's a pain in the butt when you're trying to fix, untangle the the floss to get the knot out. It's just a pain. And there's been many days I've sat here and it's just been annoying as all get go because, yeah, it's been annoying. It's not fun. And it takes up a lot of time. It takes up time and it gets frustrating. And I also don't like frogging, ripping it out. And what us stitchers, what us stitchers call frogging, ripping out as frogging. It's a pain. It's, especially if you have to rip out a whole big section of one color or a whole big section of the pattern that you screwed up on. It's very annoying. Let's see. Number 13. Have you introduced anyone else to cross stitch? I tried to. My two girls I tried to introduce to cross stitch and they just couldn't get into it. They tried it, but I realized watching them trying to work on a very small piece like an ornament, they just got very frustrated with it and they never finished it. I ended up finishing the pieces for them. They just didn't have the patience. That was, their big thing. And, cross stitch isn't for everybody. I've learned that. And I'm like every parent, let your child try something. And just like with little dude, he wanted to learn how to diamond paint. And I showed him and he just can't get into it. He just couldn't get into it. So, you know, that was that. I mean, same thing with cross stitch. My girls, I taught them how and they just couldn't get into it. So, which I can't fault them for that. I mean, I would have loved for them to, take up my hobby, but they couldn't do it. So, uh, number 14, what was your first project and did you finish it? If not, what was your first finish? Oh, dear God. Um, Good grief. My first project that I ever finished was the project that my mother gave me when she taught me how to cross stitch. As a matter of fact, I think she has it. She, after I stitched it, she finished it. And as a matter of fact, I think she has it hanging, I think, in her living room or somewhere. I don't remember. How do I store my cross stitch floss? I store them, and I don't have one back here, in floss bags. They're floss away bags, which you can get them on Amazon, and they have 100 that I think it comes, I think it's a pack of 100. I'm not really sure. And I use that to store my floss, and especially, store my floss like the master the master uh inventory, and the ones that I use in my different for my different projects. I use the same bags. And the master inventory I have in photo boxes, which I've done a video on FlossTube of my cross stitch storage, and that's basically what I store them in. You can store them. You get the photo boxes from, basically anywhere, Walmart, um, uh, any pharmacy. I think I got mine from Rite Aid, one of mine from Rite Aid, and the others I got from Walmart. And I use those. I really like those. They're big enough for that. And I have mine numerically in order. And that's how I store them. Let's see what else. I think that's it, guys. That is all of the cross stitch tag questions. Oh my goodness, that went quick. Uh, and that's really all of those, guys. And I hope, you learned something about, my other hobby in a way. And I thank you guys for watching. And I hope everyone has a great week. And that is it for me, guys. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching.